Okay. So in the last class, we have been talking about the project size metric estimation parameter. Under that, we have been studying the LOC, that is the lines of code. And after studying the logic about LOC, we were studying the disadvantages associated with LOC. The first disadvantages was LOC was dependent on coding activity. Second word was it depends on the choice of specific instruction according to how a programmer uh, he is constructing his sequences. Next is it measures are poorly correlated with the quality and efficiency of the code. Okay, and the next one which we understood is since LOC count will increase if I write more and more lengthier codes, so use of higher level programming languages and code reuse is prohibited under the LOC concept, but it is a disadvantage. The next disadvantage of LOC, another two more disadvantages we will study today. Then we will move on to the function point metric. So the next disadvantage under LOC is, I will just write it down. So, between any two programs with equal LOC counts, a program which incorporates complex logic, it would require much more effort to develop than a program with a very simple logic. Even if two programs are equal, a complex logic program, it will require more effort to develop than a simple logic program. So imagine the effect that would be required in order to develop a program that have multiple, suppose, nested loops and decision constructs. So a program which has multiple nested loops and decision constructs, it would require more effort to be developed. And another program that have only sequential control flow, it would require lesser amount uh, to develop. But LOC will does not address this important issue of logical and structural complexities. So it will only concentrate on the lexical complexity. Lexical complexity, the lexical analysis can of the two programs can be same. But if a program has multiple nested loops, decision controls, definitely it is difficult to construct that program than a program who is having simple sequential control flow. But it is a disadvantage of LOC. It does not take any issues of logical complexities and structural complexities. The next one is So as already discussed, at the project initiation time, before the project is starting, it is very difficult to accurately estimate that how many number of lines of code that program will take in order to be developed. So LOC count can accurately only be computed only after the code has been fully developed. Since project planning is carried out even before any development activity it will start, so the LOC metric is of little use to the project managers during the project planning phase, because LOC cannot accurately say how many lines of code the program will take in order to be developed, and project planning activity is carried out before any development activity start. So LOC metric is not of much use to the project managers during the project planning phase. So from the project manager's perspective, the biggest shortcoming of this LOC metric is that the LOC count is very difficult to estimate during the project planning stage, and it can only be accurately computed after the software development is complete. So this, the last point is the, from project manager's perspective, this is the biggest shortcoming of the LOC metric, that it cannot be estimated before the starting of the project and it can only be said after the project has been complete. So after it is completed, what is the point of measuring the size of my project? Because first, before the project is starting, then only I need to measure my project size, then accordingly I need to do several other activities like scheduling, staffing, resource planning. So if I get a project size estimate after my project is complete, then it's of no use to me, it's of no use to the project manager rather. So this is the most important or the biggest shortcoming of this LOC metric. Okay. Next came the second metric, that is the function point metric, which we will study now. Okay. So function point metric, sometimes we also refer to it as FP. It was proposed by Albrecht in 1983. Okay. So this metric, it overcomes many of the shortcomings which we have studied or seen in LOC metric. So function point metric, since it overcomes a lot of shortcomings of the LOC metric, it has steadily gained very popularity. So it has several advantages over the LOC metric. And one of the important advantages of the function metric over the LOC metric is that it can easily be computed from the problem specification itself. So using the LOC metric on the other hand, the size was not being able to be accurately determined. So before the project development, so the size can only be accurately determined only after the product has fully been developed. But here, from the problem specification, the function point metric, this can be easily computed. So the conceptual idea behind this function point metric is that the size of a software product, it is directly dependent on the number of different high level functions or features that product will support. So the basic idea I will write. So this is an assumption which the function point metric does. That is, if we have high level functions, we have high level features, then that will directly uh, indicate my software product size. And this assumption is also reasonable because each feature would take additional effort in order to be implemented. So that effort now will be counted. Earlier in the case of LOC, this effort was not counted, but here, since each feature will take additional effort, this effort will be counted. So conceptually, the function point metric, it is based on the idea that a software product supporting many features would certainly be of larger size than a product with less number of features. Now, it is very much obvious if I have a house of 7 rooms and if I have a house of 2 rooms, 2 BHK flats and 4 BHK flats, the cost is different. And it should be also. For making 2 BHK flat, the effort was much less of the promoter in order to make a 4 BHK flat. The time was more invested, the effort was more invested, the manpower is more invested, and accordingly the cost is also more. So obviously this idea is true on which the function point metric is based, that a software product supporting many features, it will surely be of larger size than a product with lesser number of features. Okay. So each feature, it takes some effort to develop, and different features may take very different amount of efforts to develop. For example, suppose in a banking software, okay, So a function to display, suppose a help message, suppose any problem is occurring, and for that if a problem occurs, a pop-up message is coming up that for any help you contact this person. So a function to display that help message, it will be very much easier to develop. And suppose there is another function that carries out the actual banking transaction. So the function which carries out the actual banking transaction, it will be difficult to develop. And the function that carries out only a pop-up help message, it will be easier to develop. So the effort related in developing these two different features are definitely different. So this will be considered by the function point metric by counting what? The number of input and the output data items and the number of files accessed by the function. Okay. So when a function needs to be run, it will always take some input value. It will give some output value. In the process, when a function is invoked, that function in a process will invoke other functions. So few files it will be accessed. This is the assumption that is made, that more the number of data items that a function reads from the user and outputs, and the more the number of files accessed, higher is the complexity of the function. So the thing is, now, this is a very important thing or idea which is taken into account in case of function point metric, that if I have more data items that a function will read from the user and outputs, and more the number of files the function will access in order to give the output, higher is the complexity of the function. So each feature, when it is invoked, it will read some input data and then transform those to the required output data. Suppose let me just draw a picture. Suppose I have query book, I have, should I write it in black, right? It will be more visible. I have return book. Okay. Okay. So suppose I have in my library management system, I have a query book feature of a library automation software. Now this query book feature, it will take the name of the book as input and it will display its location where it is located in my library. And also it will show that total number of copies that are available presently. So similarly, suppose there is another function, the issue book and the return book features. They produce their output based on the corresponding input data. So three features are there in my library automation system: query book, issue book, return book. Query book will take as input the book name, and as output it will give the location of the book, where the book is located and how many copies of the book are exactly located. So it can be argued that the computation of the number of input and output data items, it would give a more accurate indication of the code size compared to simply counting the number of high level functions supported by the system. So earlier the number of lines of codes was computed. Now if I look into the matter in the terms of functions and input output data items, it will give me a more accurate picture of the entire software product which I am going to develop. So Albrecht, he proposed, or he postulated rather, that in addition to the in addition to the number of basic functions that a software performs, size also depends on the number of files and the number of interfaces that are associated with the software. So interfaces means that different mechanisms for data transfer with the external systems. Suppose there is one interface with the user, interface with the external computer. So interfaces refer to the different mechanisms for data transfer with external systems. Okay. So in addition to the number of basic functions that a software performs, size also depends on the number of files and the number of interfaces that are associated with the software. So this is the most finest thing which he postulated, and yes, it is true. This thing which is said, it is definitely true. So first I will just stop the share and give you the attendance. Everyone, please mark your attendance. Uh, Okay, so this was all about today's class. Those who are being able to mark their attendance, they may leave the class because this was all about the function point metric introduction part. In the next class, we will directly start from the computation of function point metric in the various project estimations. Okay, so if you are marking your attendance, after marking, you may leave.